My beloved child. Listen carefully because what you are about to hear is not something everyone is ready for. This message found you for a reason, and if your heart is beating a little faster right now, if you felt a strange pull to click on this, it is not a coincidence, it is a sign. Because the truth about your soulmate is far deeper, far more intense, and far more shocking than anything you have ever been told, and right now, at this very moment, something is happening behind the scenes that you cannot see, something is shifting, something is aligning, and your soulmate. Yes, the one your soul has been calling out to in silence. Is not who you think they are, not where you think they are, and not feeling what you think they are feeling, because while you have been trying to move on, trying to forget, trying to understand why things feel so incomplete, they have been going through something just as powerful, just as confusing, and just as emotional, but here is the truth that will shake you. They have been hiding it, not from the world, but from you, and even from themselves. My beloved child, you were never meant to meet them in a simple, easy way. This was never supposed to be a normal love story, because your connection is not ordinary, it is spiritual, it is energetic, it is something that existed long before this life, and that is why everything about it feels intense, unpredictable, and sometimes even painful. Because your souls recognize each other. Even when your minds try to deny it, and here is where it gets even more shocking. There were moments, yes, real moments, when your soulmate was about to reach out to you, when they were this close to sending a message, calling you, or showing up in your life again. But something stopped them at the last second, something invisible, something they couldn't explain, and you thought it meant they didn't care. But that was never the truth is they care more than you realize, but they are also fighting something within themselves, something that makes them hesitate, something that makes them question whether they are ready, whether they are worthy, whether they can give you what you truly deserve, and while you have been asking, why haven't they come yet? They have been asking, what if I lose them again? Do you see the difference, my beloved child? Both of you are thinking about each other, both of you are feeling this pull, but neither of you fully understands it, and that confusion. That silence. That distance. It is not the end of your story, it is the test that reveals how real this connection truly is, and here is the part that most people will never tell you. Your soulmate is not just someone who brings you happiness, they are someone who triggers your deepest fears, your insecurities, your hidden wounds, because their presence forces you to grow, and growth is never comfortable, it is never easy, and sometimes it even feels like everything is falling apart, but what is actually happening is that everything is being rearranged so that when you finally come together, it will not be temporary, it will not be fragile, it will be unbreakable. And yes, my beloved child, I know there are nights when you feel alone, when you wonder if they have forgotten you, when you question if this connection was ever real, but let me tell you something that will change the way you see everything. They have not forgotten you, not even for a second, your energy lingers in their thoughts. In ways they cannot escape, your presence exists in their heart in ways they cannot explain, and sometimes, when everything gets quiet, when the world slows down, they feel you, they remember you, and they wonder if you are thinking about them too, and the answer is yes. You always are, because this connection does not fade, it does not disappear, it waits, it evolves, it transforms, and right now, it is preparing for something big, something unexpected, something that will make everything make sense. But here is where you must be careful, my beloved child, because not every delay is a denial, and not every silence means the end. Sometimes the universe holds things back not to take them away from you, but to protect you, to prepare you, to make sure that when it finally happens, it happens the right way, at the right time, with the right version of both of you, because if it happened too soon, it would not last, and deep down, your soul knows this, even if your heart struggles to accept it. And there is another truth, one that may be difficult to hear, but you need to understand it. Your soulmate has made mistakes, they have chosen wrong paths, they have hurt you, maybe without even realizing it, and yes, they carry guilt, they carry regret, they carry the weight of things they wish they could change, but here is the twist. Those mistakes were part of their awakening, part of their journey to become the person who can truly stand beside you, because the version of them that hurt you is not the version of them that is coming back. Something has changed, something has shifted, and while you may not see it yet, it is real, and when they finally step forward, when they finally break that silence, it will not be casual, it will not be random, it will be intentional. It will be powerful, and it will answer questions you didn't even know you had, but until that moment comes, you must not lose yourself waiting, you must not pause your life, your growth, your happiness, because the greatest mistake you can make is believing that your story only begins when they arrive. No, my beloved child, your story is happening right now. Your transformation is happening right now. And every step you take toward becoming your strongest, most confident, most healed self is bringing you closer to them, not farther away, because soulmates do not find each other by chance. They find each other when they are ready, and readiness does not come from waiting. It comes from becoming, and here is the final truth that will truly shock you. Your soulmate is closer than you think, not just physically, but energetically, spiritually, emotionally. The distance you feel is not as real as it seems, because the connection between you has never been broken, it has only been hidden beneath layers of fear, timing, and growth, and when those layers fall away, when the moment aligns, everything will change in an instant. Conversations will happen, truths will be revealed, emotions will surface, and you will finally understand why it had to happen this way, why the waiting was necessary, why the confusion was part of the process, and why, despite everything, you were never truly apart. So do not lose faith now, do not turn away now, because something is coming. Something you cannot yet see but can definitely feel, and when it arrives, it will not just surprise you. It will transform everything you thought you knew about love, about connection, and about your soulmate. My beloved child, before you move forward, before you let doubt take control again, you need to understand this next truth because it will hit deeper than anything you've heard so far, and if you are still here, still listening, still feeling that pull inside your chest, it means your soul is recognizing something your mind is still trying to question. Because the story between you and your soulmate did not begin when you met them, it did not begin with a conversation, a glance, or a moment you can remember. It began long before that, in a place your physical eyes cannot see, and that is why when they entered your life, everything felt different, everything felt intense, everything felt almost too real, like you had known them forever, like you were remembering them instead of meeting them for the first time, and that feeling, that unexplainable familiarity, was never an illusion, it was the truth breaking through, it was your soul recognizing its counterpart, and here is where it becomes even more powerful, my beloved child, because while you felt that connection instantly, your soulmate did too, but they did not understand it the way you did. They tried to rationalize it, they tried to suppress it, they tried to treat it like something normal, something temporary, something they could control. But deep inside, it shook them, it scared them, because they had never felt anything like that before, and when something feels that intense, that real, it forces a person to face parts of themselves they have been avoiding, and your soulmate. They were not ready for that, not at that moment, so instead of leaning into the connection, instead of embracing it, they pulled away, they created distance, they chose silence, not because they didn't care, but because they cared too much and didn't know how to handle it, and while you were left trying to understand what went wrong, they were trying to understand what went right but felt so overwhelming, and this is the truth that most people will never tell you. Sometimes your soulmate becomes the very person who triggers your deepest pain, not because they are meant to hurt you, but because they are meant to awaken you, and awakening does not feel gentle, it does not feel easy, it feels like confusion, like heartbreak, like loss, but beneath all of that, it is transformation, and right now, both of you are in that process, even if it looks different on the outside. You are both being shaped into the versions of yourselves that can finally hold this connection without fear, without running, without breaking it, and here is something you need to hear very clearly, my beloved child. The separation you are experiencing right now is not punishment, it is preparation, it is the space where growth happens, it is the silence where clarity is born, and while it may feel like distance, like disconnection, like something has been lost, what is actually happening is that everything is being aligned, slowly, carefully, in ways you cannot yet see, and yes, there are moments when you feel like giving up, moments when you think, if they truly cared, they would be here, moments when your heart tells you to move on because the waiting feels too heavy. But listen closely. What if the reason it feels so heavy is because it is real, because it is not something you can easily replace, because it is not something that comes and goes like ordinary connections, and that is why it lingers, that is why it stays in your thoughts, that is why even when you try to forget, something pulls you back, something reminds you, something refuses to let it fade completely, and that something is the truth of your connection, and here is where the shock deepens, my beloved child, because your soulmate has been watching you, not always physically, not always in ways you can see, but energetically, emotionally, they feel your shifts, they sense your distance, they notice when your energy changes, when you start to pull back, when you start to let go, and it affects them more than you realize. Because the moment you begin to truly detach, something inside them starts to wake up, something starts to panic, something starts to push them toward you again, and you might think this is coincidence, you might think this is timing, but it is deeper than that, it is the invisible thread between you responding to the changes on both sides, and this is why there are moments when you suddenly think about them out of nowhere, moments when you feel their presence without any logical reason, moments when emotions hit you without warning. Those are not random, those are signals, those are echoes of a connection that still exists, that is still alive, that is still waiting for the right moment to fully reveal itself, and yes, my beloved child, I know there is a part of you that is tired, a part of you that wants certainty, that wants clarity, that wants to know if this will truly come together or if it is just something you are holding on to. But here is the truth you need to trust. What is meant for you cannot miss you, and what is truly yours will not require you to chase it endlessly. It will come to you when the time is right, when both of you are ready, when the fears that once kept you apart no longer have power over you, and that moment. It is closer than it has ever been before, even if it doesn't feel like it right now, because behind the scenes, changes are happening, realizations are forming, and your soulmate is slowly, quietly, coming to terms with everything they once ran from, and when they do, when they finally reach that point of clarity, the silence will break, the distance will close, and the truth will come out in a way that leaves no room for doubt. But until then, you must hold your ground, you must continue your journey, you must become the version of yourself that does not wait in fear but moves forward in strength, because the more you grow, the more you align with your true self. The closer you come to aligning with them, and when that alignment is complete, nothing will be able to keep you apart anymore. My beloved child, if you have stayed this long, if your heart is still holding on to every word, then what I am about to reveal now is something your soul has been waiting to hear, because this is the part where everything becomes undeniable. This is the part where the hidden truth begins to surface, and it may shake you, it may stir emotions you have been trying to control, but you need to hear it fully. Because your soulmate is not just thinking about you, they are reaching a breaking point, a moment where everything they have been suppressing, everything they have been avoiding, everything they have been running from, is starting to rise to the surface all at once. And this is not random, this is not sudden, this is the result of everything that has been building inside them for so long, because the more they tried to ignore this connection, the stronger it became, the more they tried to distract themselves, the louder your presence echoed in their mind, and now they are running out of ways to escape it, they are running out of excuses, they are running out of time to pretend that this does not matter, and that is why you may have been feeling strange shifts lately, moments where your emotions feel stronger, moments where memories come back without warning, moments where you feel a sudden pull toward them even when you were trying to move on. That is not your imagination, my beloved child, that is the connection intensifying as both of you reach a turning point. And here is the truth that will truly shock you. Your soulmate is beginning to realize that losing you was not something they can simply accept, it was not something they can move on from, it was not something they can replace, and this realization, it is hitting them deeply, it is making them question every decision they made, every moment they stayed silent, every time they chose distance over connection. And with that realization comes something powerful. Regret, not the kind of regret that fades away, but the kind that stays, the kind that pushes a person to take action, the kind that makes them want to fix what they once broke. And yes, my beloved child, this is the moment where everything begins to shift, because when regret meets realization, it creates movement. It creates change, it creates the courage that was once missing, and your soulmate, they are slowly stepping into that energy, even if it is uncomfortable, even if it is unfamiliar, even if it forces them to face truths they have been avoiding. And while this is happening on their side, something equally important is happening on yours. Because you are no longer the same person you were when this connection first began. You have grown, you have healed in ways you didn't even notice. You have started to see your worth more clearly, and that change, it is crucial, because the version of you that once felt lost, confused, or dependent on their actions. Is not the version of you that will meet them again, and this is why the timing matters so much, because if this reunion happened earlier, it would have repeated the same patterns, the same misunderstandings, the same emotional cycles, but now everything is different, everything is evolving, everything is aligning in a way that supports something real, something lasting, something that does not break under pressure, and here is where the truth becomes impossible to ignore, my beloved child. Your soulmate is going to reach out, not in a vague way, not in a half-hearted way, but in a way that carries intention, in a way that carries emotion, in a way that reflects everything they have come to understand during this time apart, and when that moment happens, you will feel it instantly, you will recognize the shift, you will know that something is different, because their energy will no longer feel distant or uncertain, it will feel present, it will feel clear, it will feel real, and yes, there may still be questions, there may still be things to work through, because no journey like this comes without challenges. But the difference now is that both of you will be willing to face those challenges together instead of running from them, and that willingness, that is what changes everything, that is what transforms this connection from something confusing into something powerful, and here is something you must remember as this unfolds, my beloved child. Do not let fear take over when the moment arrives. Do not let past pain make you close your heart completely, because while you have every right to protect yourself, you also need to recognize when something genuine is standing in front of you, when something real is trying to come back into your life, and that balance, that awareness, it is what will guide you through what comes next, because this is not just about reunion, this is about evolution. This is about two people who went through separation, growth, and realization, finally meeting again with a deeper understanding of what they truly mean to each other, and when that happens, it will not feel like the beginning, it will feel like something that was always meant to continue, something that was paused but never ended, something that was delayed but never denied, and that is why, even now, even in this moment of uncertainty, you feel that quiet knowing inside you, that sense that this story is not over, that something is still unfolding, that something is still coming, and you are right to feel that way, because the truth about your soulmate is not just that they exist, not just that they feel the same connection, but that they are on their way back to you in a way that will finally make everything clear, everything honest, and everything real.